Let's be real. Every single day, we are just bombarded with information. It can really feel like you're lost in some kind of giant, confusing maze. So today, we're not just going to hand you a map. We're going to build the mental toolkit you need to navigate this thing like a pro.
So, here's the game plan. First, we'll get the lay of the land in the information maze. Then, we'll build our toolkit for critical analysis. Learn how to spot hidden bias, unmask those harmful stereotypes, and finally, how to dodge faulty logic. Let's jump in.
All right, first stop, the information maze. And it really is a maze, isn't it? We're surrounded by these echo chambers and filter bubbles where the algorithms just keep showing us more of what they think we already believe. It makes it so easy to lose sight of the bigger picture.
Does this feel familiar? You're scrolling through your feed, and it feels almost impossible to tell what's legit from what's been carefully made up. You're not alone in this. It's a massive challenge we're all facing.
And you know, a huge reason it's so tricky is that we're dealing with two different problems. First, there's misinformation. That's the false stuff people share without realizing it's wrong, an honest mistake. But then you have disinformation, which is created on purpose to deceive people. Knowing the difference is a really crucial first step.
So, how do we find our way through all this? Well, we need the right tools. We're going to build what I'm calling a critical analysis toolkit. And really, it's just a powerful set of questions you can ask about pretty much everything you read and see.
Here they are, the 7 core questions for your kit. Think of these as your multi-tool for the information jungle. We're going to put a few of these to work right now, starting with maybe the most important one of all, source credibility. In other words, who made this, and why on earth should you trust them?
Let's see this in action. Say you're researching something about health. On one side, you've got a blog post from a health enthusiast with a dramatic title like The Silent Killer. On the other side, you have a report from the World Health Organization that summarizes dozens of scientific studies. I mean, for reliable advice, which one are you going to lean on? The difference in credibility is just night and day.
Okay, next up, let's think about purpose. You have to ask, why was this created in the first place? A tech review, its goal is to inform you, right? So it's going to give you the good and the bad. But a slick TV ad, its one and only job is to sell you that car. So of course, it's only going to show you the shiny, cool features. Understanding the creator's goal is absolutely key.
All right, let's pull the next tool from our kit, spotting hidden bias. This is all about learning to see the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle ways a message is tilted to favor one particular point of view.
So, what even is bias? At its core, it's basically having a thumb on the scale. It's a preference that gets in the way of being impartial. Sometimes it's totally unintentional, just based on our experiences. And other times, it's a very deliberate choice to try and influence you.
Now, this is a fantastic example of what's called spin bias. Just look at the language used to describe the exact same event. Headline A uses neutral words like citizens and peacefully. Headline B uses loaded emotional words like mob and disrupts. The word choice alone creates two completely different realities for the reader. It's powerful stuff.
Let's add another really important skill to our toolkit, unmasking harmful stereotypes. These are those mental shortcuts that can reduce entire complex groups of people into simple and usually inaccurate caricatures.
A stereotype is basically a mental copy and paste job. It's this fixed, oversimplified idea that just completely ignores the incredible diversity and individuality you find inside any group of people.
And we see this all the time. I mean, just think about how often older adults are shown this way in the media. It's a common trope that paints a really narrow and, frankly, misleading picture.
And here's the crucial point. This isn't just harmless fun. This kind of consistent misrepresentation has real-world consequences. It leads to things like ageism, and it makes us overlook the immense talent and diversity within our older communities.
All right, for our final tool, we're going to learn how to dodge faulty logic. These are the little errors in reasoning, the cracks in an argument's foundation, that are so often used to persuade you without any actual evidence.
First up is a total classic, ad hominem. It's Latin for to the person, and it's basically a diversion tactic. Instead of actually dealing with the facts of an argument, you just attack the person who's making it.
And here's what that looks like in the wild. Notice how this statement tells you absolutely nothing about the senator's actual economic policy. Nope. It just attacks his background, hoping that's enough to make you dismiss his ideas before you even hear them.
Next is the straw man fallacy. This is where you ignore your opponent's actual argument and instead you build up this weaker, distorted version of it, a straw man, that's way easier for you to knock down.
And here's a perfect example of how that looks in a conversation. Person A makes a totally reasonable suggestion about investing more. But watch what person B does. They twist that into this extreme, ridiculous position that person A never even came close to arguing for. It's just a dishonest way to win a debate.
And there you have it. Your toolkit is packed and ready to go. You now have the skills to ask critical questions, spot bias, challenge stereotypes, and identify faulty logic. This is how you navigate that maze, resist manipulation, and form opinions that are truly your own.
So as we finish up, the real work is just beginning for you. The very next article, the next post, the next video you see, look at it with these new tools. What message will you question first?